20th of July 1969 marked the day for the mankind to step into another world. The world we have seen for centuries as a sign of light, dreams, aspirations and desires. The world we call our moon. To commemorate the historic milestone in stepping outside of the world we live in and celebrate the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11 mission, when the first time mankind had stepped, stood and walked onto the surface of the moon, and last but not the least, to also pay tribute to the 5-decade-old original Speedmaster in being the watch worn on the moon. Omega introduced limited edition of Speedmaster in 2019. The reference that is new and modern in many ways, yet maintains the aesthetics, feel and looks of its predecessors. As a commemorative icon, while the 50th anniversary Speedmaster retains its characters, the most distinguishing and unique element this reference has is the iconic photograph of Buzz Aldrin at 9 o'clock, showing him descending the ladder of the space shuttle, capturing the moment just before the first human wearing the Speedmaster touched the lunar surface. This photograph was taken by Neil Armstrong, who had already stepped outside before Buzz Aldrin, that allowed him to take the photo and capture the historic moment that's not only important and historic for the entire mankind, but also very special for the watch enthusiast community. The Speedmaster worn on the trip to moon was not just a sports watch worn for pleasure, it was worn for purpose and as an instrument for timing the events. So Neil Armstrong had left his Speedmaster behind in the shuttle as a backup timing instrument. And the Speedmaster on Aldrin's wrist was actually the first watch worn by the first person to step on lunar surface. The stories, wonders and display of historic milestones in human endeavors to reach the moon in this commemorative Speedmaster don't end here, and turning the watch upside down, we have another rhyme to uncover. The image on the caseback showcases another icon, a photograph of Aldrin's footprint on the lunar surface, to showcase first human step on the surface of the moon, for the mankind to remain as a memory, stating the famous saying of Neil Armstrong written in moonshine gold, "That's one step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." The photograph is beautifully detailed, and as such, it's not just a photograph, it's a 3-dimensional imprint of the actual footstep on the surface of the moon, showing even the soft powder-like sand dispersed due to the footprint. The details in this 3-dimensional photograph are truly exceptional, and even the number of lines stamped from the shoe sole being 8 is exactly the same as the original photograph. And resultingly, the caseback easily offers the vibe and the experience that the Speedmaster stands for. I have never said it before, but if I were to ever prefer a solid caseback over the exhibition one, that showcases components of movement, this is it. I lose the pleasure of viewing the operation and movement of mechanical parts that basically define horology, but I get a story, a history and a sign of human efforts to relentlessly never give up and reach the outer space to step on something never seen before. This commemorative reference to celebrate 50th anniversary comes in varnished grey main dial with black subdials and minute chapter ring around it. To further relate this reference with the trip to moon and original moon watch, it comes with bezel that is made from 18 karat moonshine gold, which is a newer gold alloy offered in Omega to offer a paler hue compared to typical yellow gold. The bezel ring on the watch face is ceramic to offer sturdy and scratch resistant properties. And then the tachymeter scale is fashioned with Sarah gold to offer a rich contrast for easy readability. The dial color is new and unique to this particular reference, and the grey to black dial offers not only refreshed looks but also with the applied hour indices. There's more to this watch than regular Speedmasters. Where we have white printed hour indices on standard Speedmaster, we have here not just applied but also beveled hour indices made from moonshine gold. There is also vintage inspired Omega logo and then the hour hands made from gold, whereas the central chrono seconds hand receives PVD treatment in moonshine gold. The hour marker at 11 o'clock is unique and has two markings for number 1, as opposed to regular stick hour markers, to relate this watch back to Apollo 11 space mission that this watch represents the success of. The 9 o'clock image of Buzz Aldrin descending from lunar module is laser engraved, and the inscription on moonshine gold plate is simply beautiful and detailed enough that you can behold its beauty under the loupe for hours. The applied hour indices of solid gold may make you think that the watch has no lume, and then the watch will then surprise you as you step into darker ambience and the lume begins its magic. There are small dots just above the hour markers to show each hour, except for 11 o'clock, which is missing the lume circle to make way for the marking of 11. The central chronograph seconds hand also comes filled with lume, so you can use it to time seconds as well. The subdials and its hands do not come lumed, so this Speedmaster in the dark is more like a three-hander watch. The watch comes with beautifully machined and polished case, which is tapered with wide chamfered and polished edges that not only add character to the watch but also that jewelry look to complement the gold tone of the dial. The lug's top surfaces are brushed, but since the chamfered profile covers most of the top surface, the lugs look mostly polished. The case sides are beautifully brushed to add a contrast and a more sporty look to the watch. And then on the crown, we have vintage-inspired Omega logo embossed on it. The crown is not screwed in, rather it's push-in only. The reference comes equipped with Omega's newest manually wound movement, caliber 3861, which is Master Chronometer certified caliber and a very first movement to be offered in stainless steel model. When fully wound, the movement offers 50 hours of power reserve, which is not very impressive but nothing to complain. It isn't a column wheel movement, rather it's cam lever actuated chronograph, which isn't ideal but more suitable for operations like going into space. Under the macro, the watch comes with mixed level of finish. On the hour markers, I can see some minor scratches which are relatively only surface scratches. But the scratches are consistent across all the hour markers and can be seen all around. The underside of seconds hand is neither machined nor treated and just shows surface irregularities from the metal. The minute hand took me by surprise, and although it looks fine from naked eye, the edges of the hand are very rough and easily show that they have not been cut with due care. And this applies to both edges of minute hand, and you can easily see surface irregularities. The hour hand has minor scratches but nothing of note or concern. The joint for seconds hand is well executed and the surface finish is relatively fine. If you look at the circle around the joint towards the tail of seconds hand, there's a minor surface irregularity in the shape. It can't be spotted with naked eye, but that's not an excuse. The matte texture of the dial alongside the writing for the text looks crisp and there is no flaw on side. The laser engraving for image of Buzz Aldrin is very crisp and it does showcase attention to detail. On the wrist, the new Speedmaster Apollo 11 50th anniversary wears very elegantly. The case size of 42mm will make you think that this watch wears large, but I have to tell you that this watch actually wears like a 40mm watch, and from no dimension it looks or feels to be a larger or 42mm watch, thanks to its relatively smaller dial face and then also shorter lug-to-lug of only a little above 46mm. Omega Speedmaster is probably the only 42mm watch that wears more like a 40mm watch. For reference, Rolex Submariner case size is 40mm, but lug-to-lug is 49mm. So despite being 2mm shorter technically than the Speedmaster, Sub will wear larger than the Speedy. My wristband is 55mm, so this Omega wears like a joy for me, and I absolutely love its fit and feel on the wrist. The case thickness is 14mm, but thanks to contoured case profile, the watch does not look thick at all and can easily slip under the cuff. I absolutely love the vintage-inspired stainless steel bracelet that recalls the original Omega 1039 bracelet, and it maintains brushed center links and then the polished side links. And I not only like the looks and aesthetics of the bracelet, but it's also very thin and comfortable. The polished side links mean that the watch has formal looks and blingy characters. However, this comes with the risk of scratching the links from day-to-day use. The watch also comes with vintage-inspired clasp with vintage Omega logo. The clasp is double button release, and although there is no quick adjustment mechanism, there is one hole for micro adjustment on the go. In the times when we wear the watches to symbolize life's milestones, define who we are, or show our lifestyle by exhibiting the pride and honor in what represents human endeavors to reach the unreachable. Omega Speedmaster Apollo 11 50th anniversary truly commemorates one of the most significant journeys of human history. The journey that started pretty much from the beginning of time and was completed only 50 years ago. And then the dedication and commitment of Omega to master their skills and dexterity to produce a timing instrument that not only played its role in the moon landing but also saved lives. There's so much to talk about when the watch in question is a moon watch. The first watch worn to the moon by the mankind to mark a small step for a man but a giant leap forward for mankind. The watch where you look at the dial to appreciate the moment just before when first human feet touched the surface of the moon, and look at the case back to remember when mankind stepped on lunar surface, imprinting a footprint on the moon, leaving the aspirations for mankind to endeavor and prepare for another human footprint to go beyond the moon now to another world.